I would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the land on which we are meeting this evening. I would like to acknowledge the wonderful way they have looked after our waterways and our beautiful environment that we work here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College, and the contribution that they've made to the lands and waterways here. I'd like to acknowledge elders and leaders past and present, and also emerging. So if we have anybody who requires some interpretation assistance in Arabic, Dari or Swahili, would you please make your way to the stairs, and we've got some separate rooms for you, and just so that you can take your time with the interpreter to go through the information this evening. Okay?
So Arabic?
Beautiful. And is there anyone here, Dari or Swahili? Are we all good? Yeah. Would you? Yeah. Beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you. Awesome.
And no Dari?
No. Alrighty. So this evening's presentation is going to cover some main areas which I've got up here. We're going to talk about the Year 10 course requirements. We're going to, Tom, could I ask you to just close that door, please? Thank you. Ta. We're going to look at the acceleration options available to you, and we're going to provide some information about where you can get advice with your choices and what the actual process for selection for your subjects for Year 10 is. At Year 10, our students here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College undertake the core subjects of English and mathematics. For English, students will apply to undertake VCE Foundation English, General English, or English as an additional language. For mathematics, students are able to choose from numeracy, foundation mathematics, general mathematics, mathematics methods, or specialist mathematics, which is offered in semester 2. At Greater Shepparton Secondary College, we have an expectation that our Year 10 students are starting to set themselves up for Year 11 and Year 12. As students, they are expected to demonstrate an increased level of responsibility and leadership at our school, and acting as role models for our junior students. And this is really important, particularly in the vertical home group structure that we have moved to at Greater Shepparton Secondary College. Our Year 10, 11 and 12 students are incredibly important role models and supporters of our younger students. To best prepare our students for Year 11 and Year 12, Year 10 students should be aiming to complete as a minimum at least 1 hour of homework for every subject they are doing every week. At Year 10, 11 and 12, students participate in the Pathways Mentor program. This is a program that's held when you guys currently have Connect. This is when the Pathway Mentor program will be held. We deliver a broad range of topics at Year 10, including organisation and study skills, wellbeing, health and mindfulness, and we look at career pathways, and we'll get guest speakers in to come and chat with you about their journey and how they've got to where they are. Students will have time to further develop their career action plans, and they will do this across the course of the year. There will be goal setting as well, just to help you really clarify your journey and where you're looking to head in Year 11 and 12. Our Year 10 students also participate in Careers Day Out, which is held here in Shepparton and seems to get bigger and better every year. It's an incredible day for our students to attend and gives them an opportunity to be exposed to a huge number of industries, jobs and careers, as well as a lot of different tertiary institutes, universities, registered training organisations and TAFEs. We'll provide a lot more information to all of you in 2024 when we're looking at your year kicking off. This is a very busy slide, so I'm just going to tell you that there are 50 elective subjects that you can choose from. Actually, there's more than 50. I think I counted 54. and you need to choose 8 elective subjects. You must choose a number of subjects in your 8 electives. You must choose a science and a PE, an arts, music or technology, and a humanities elective. And then the other 8 can be in areas that you're really interested in. All of the electives that we offer here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College have been designed to prepare our students for a VCE, VET or VCE vocational major pathway. And that concludes tonight's presentation. Electives are offered in a range of different areas, including English and maths. There's languages, as well as your core subjects, humanities and science, etc. So here is a bit of an overview about how your year would be structured. So Year 10 students complete 6 subjects. So we have 6 blocks in our senior timetable, and students will do 2 single sessions and 1 double session of each of those 6 subjects. As you can see on this slide, there are core subjects. So our English, numeracy, they are core subjects. You must all do those, and your teachers will help you select the correct one to lead into your pathway, okay? And then there are the elective blocks. There are 4 blocks in each semester, which, as you can all determine, is 8 electives in total, ensuring that you do 1 science, a PE, art, tech or music, and a humanities at some point across the year. You guys have been given your subject selection handbook, our students. You received these in the last week of term 2. If you are here and you haven't yet received your booklet, that's okay. You just need to go to the Careers Hub in your neighbourhood and you can collect your individual copy from the Careers Hub, okay? So I won't spend a lot of time going through all of these subjects because they're in your booklets. But these are the core English and maths subjects that you will be able to select from. Then there are electives in English. There are many electives in the arts area, as you can see. So these are performing and visual arts. There are many electives in technology. And if you're someone who enjoys cooking, food falls under the technology banner. Lots of choice for humanities, and you can see the natural progression. So something like legal studies, if you're interested in legal studies and you pick this subject, it will flow nicely into Year 11 VCE legal studies, and that's the way these subjects have been set up. There are options there as well in science, and there is a combined humanities and science subject. Now, this is important because some of the music subjects may run for, not just music, there's a number of subjects that will only run, and I think PE is another one, either in semester 1 or semester 2. So it's just important that you look at that when you're choosing your subjects. We have health subjects, and we have many PE subjects, okay? So you can see that outdoor education at the top there is a subject that is offered. So there's a summer outdoor ed and a winter outdoor ed. So it's choosing which one that you would be interested in. And obviously the winter one isn't going to run in the first part of the year because we don't have all of the snow that you need to do a winter subject. So just be mindful of those. Sport, recreation and leadership only runs in semester 2. And you can continue with languages. This year we'll be offering Arabic in Year 10. It's the first time we've had that available in Year 10. If you are looking to study a language, there is an expectation that you have already completed the language in Year 7, 8 and 9. The languages are not beginning language subjects in Year 10, so it's really important that you have already completed some time in that subject. So this is important. How do we choose the subjects that work best for us? It's really important when you're choosing your subjects that you think about what subjects you connect with, what subjects motivate you, and what subjects you know you'll do well in. As well as ensuring, and I won't say it again, but those 4 subject areas that you must choose, you are going to have other choices to select from. When you pick your subjects, you will need to preference 8 as your priority subjects and another 8 as backups. And when you do that, you will need to ensure in your 8 backup subjects that you also pick a backup for your science, PE, art, music, tech, and humanities. That's really important. If you're not sure what you want to do when you're moving into year 11 and 12 or even beyond secondary school, that's okay. It's probably a good idea then for you to make sure that you pick from a broad range of subject areas to keep your options open for this time in 12 months when we're talking to you about what subjects you'll pick for VCE in year 11 and 12. It's also really, really important not to pick the subjects that your best friend is picking if they're not the subjects you want to do. There will be multiple classes running. For example, there may be a PE elective and there's 3 classes and you and your bestie pick it and you get in the one in block 1 and they get in the one in block 2. So you're not even together anyway and you didn't really want to do it. You were only picking it because they did. So please pick for yourself. Pick the subjects that you really want to do. We also have an option here for our Year 10 students to accelerate a subject, and we often refer to that here as fast tracking. This is for students to commence a VCE subject when they are in Year 10. So the way the VCE program works, when you're in Year 11, you complete Unit 1 and 2 of a VCE subject. And when you're in Year 12, you complete Unit 3 and 4 of that same subject. But if you are a student who is working above the standard, or you are a student who is really, really excelling and showing a lot of interest in an area, you may be able to commence a VCE subject in Year 10. Okay, now there are some requirements around that, and it is something that needs to be approved, and there is a sign-in process, and I'll just take you through that. Again, I'll just remind you it's above the standard, and students can only choose to do one of these accelerated studies. You would need to get that signed off by your classroom teacher. So let's just say you were absolutely fantastic at media and you wanted to, or photography, and you wanted to start doing VCE media. You would have a conversation with Mr. McConnell about your desire to start the VCE media subject in Year 10. If he thought you had the capacity and the ability to do that, he would sign you in. And then you would need to go and have a conversation with the head of the arts department, who in this case is Ms. Seeley. And you would have that conversation with Ms. Seeley, and she would see that Mr. McConnell has already said, yep, this student's going to be a ripper. And Ms. Seeley would sign you in, and your parents and guardians would sign that form as well. And you would bring that to you on subject selection day. This is also a requirement for students who want to fast track outdoor education, the VCE outdoor education. In the past, students have skipped that step, and we can't put you into that subject if you haven't had the conversation with the classroom teacher and with the domain leader, because the expectation of you doing a Year 11 subject is the same as the Year 11s doing the subject. Okay, we need to make sure that you'll manage those expectations and the increased workload that comes with it. But one of the benefits is if you do one subject in Year 10, if you get approved and you're able to, it helps you understand the process of VCE a little bit earlier. So it's a really good plus. It also has a positive impact on your ATAR, which is the score you get when you sit your Year 12 exams. So you'll get a little bit extra added on the end if you've done an additional subject. One of the things to remember is that doing an extra subject or starting a VCE subject early does not enable you to do less subjects in Year 12. Greater Shepparton Secondary College has the same expectation for all of our Year 12 students that they complete 5 Year 12 subjects. So you don't get to drop one just because you started one earlier. And the thing that's important to remember about that is the students that are doing an accelerated subject are the students who are above the standard. So they should be able to cope with that workload. Inside your Year 10 subject selection guide is all of the information for the subjects. At the back, there is an application to apply to accelerate a subject, if that is something that you are desiring to do. Okay? If this isn't completed when you come to subject selection in week 3, it says to us that you're not ready to accelerate a subject because you haven't been able to get organised enough just to get a piece of paper signed. So to us, this process says, yeah, okay, they can follow a process, that's a good thing. All right, so that's something to think about. The other thing to think about is it is an application. It's not a guarantee just because you're applying. It's not a guarantee. But if you think you have that ability and you are interested, then have a conversation with your teachers as soon as you can and see if you can apply for that. So there are a range of people who will support you with your choices. Our classroom teachers have been presenting to you since last term in your classrooms about the elective subjects that are available. You are best placed to have a conversation with them, particularly your English and maths teachers, and you need to be taking these books to class all the time. When you're particularly English maths, they have to sign you in. So it's really important that you take these with you so you can remind yourself to have those really important conversations. We also encourage you to speak with students who are doing subjects you are interested in. You're in vertical home groups, so you've got students in Year 11 and Year 12 in your home groups now. So pick their brain. Did you fast track a subject? How did you find the workload? How much homework was there? What was the expectation? What tips could you give me so I could manage it, etc. So take advantage of those relationships that you have with other students. You also should access all of the careers team or a person in the careers team. We're all available here for you. I introduced already Susan, Dan and Greg, who are the careers practitioners in the neighbourhood. Marianne and I are also qualified careers practitioners and always willing to have conversations with students about their pathways. We can be found in D148. We're in the Dania building. This year, you may have completed your Moresby profile. If you haven't completed it yet, I suggest that you send a message to Mr. Watson via Teams and get your Moresby finished, because the profile there will also help link you in with careers and pathways that are naturally suited to your strengths and abilities. Go on to the careers webpage, the college's careers website, gssccareers.com. If you log in at the top there and access your own personal student portal, there are quizzes you can do there. There are personality tests. There are job connection quizzes you can do that look at what areas of what you're looking for in a workplace and what jobs might suit you. So there's a lot of resources there to help you with your pathway. So I've mentioned already that you've got your booklet. You're having the showcases from your teachers, and your teachers will be available during class and also outside of class. As a staff here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College, we know that subject selection time is really important, and we also know it's really busy. So we're expecting students to be talking to us all the time. When you come across us on a yard duty or in the hallways, have a chat with us. Okay, we want to talk to you. All of your teachers will want to talk to you. We need to make sure that you're signed into the most appropriate English and maths. You need to make sure you complete the acceleration form, and you need to have everything in this booklet ready to go by the end of the school day on Wednesday the 26th of July. So that's in 2 weeks from today. Okay? Because we have 2 days of subject selection. On Thursday the 27th and Friday the 28th, you will bring all of this paperwork with you, and you will be allocated to a counselling session. So you will come with more than likely your Connect group is how we're looking to work it, but it doesn't matter, you'll be with 9A English or 9A Connect, 9B and so on. So at some point across those 2 days, your classroom teacher will bring you across to the careers team in the gym, and you will have a one-on-one counselling session with one of the careers team, and you'll talk to us about what your interests are, what subjects you've put down, what you think you might like to do when you finish school, and we'll have a really, really valuable conversation with you. And while we're having that conversation, we're going to enter your subject choices into web preferences. Okay? So that's why we need you to be ready to go by close of school day in a fortnight on the 26th of July. We've found these sessions to be really valuable. And it also provides us an opportunity if a student is thinking of a pathway, but they may have selected subjects that won't naturally lead to that pathway, we can talk to them about that and suggest that potentially looking at another subject might set them up better for VCE and then for their future pathway. Okay? So, everybody has this, I think. The last thing I need to cover is if you're absent on the Thursday and Friday of subject selection day, we have a catch-up session on the Monday, the 31st of July. We'll be catching up with all the Year 9 and Year 10 students who haven't been able to attend those sessions. If you know you're going away, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, we're going to Queensland next week, I'm not going to be here, I would suggest you get this booklet finished and you go and catch up with your neighbourhood careers practitioner before you go away. So they can have a record of the subjects, and when it opens up, they can still enter the subjects that you want. Okay, that's really important that you do that. Does anybody have any questions? I know that's a lot of information that we have run through. We are recording the session and we'll make it available, and I'll also provide the slide deck. I'll send that out this evening so you've all got it fresh in your head, the slides from tonight, and then next week we'll send the recording.